Alright, YouTube, got 30 minutes to do this video. UTV. So, this is the UTV. I use the winch. I'm at 6x6 in the front. Pulled this thing up. Got some 4x4s under the back tires. Got the e-brake on. Put some 2x4s in to keep it from wobbling. Put this 4x4 in because there's more weight on the side. It's on a hill. Alright, I got a throttle cable and a belt ordered for it. So let's see, can you see it from this side maybe? Okay, see that hole right there? That's where the throttle cable goes. Alright, and it goes down through here past the steering rack, and it comes past the steering rack down here. I had to take all these plastics off. Total pain, like 30 bolts. You come down through here, through here, through here, through here, and up through here to the carb. So what I had to take off to get to that were these 4 skid plates. The nuts there, which were cross-threaded. That's why I'm replacing it. Someone cross-threaded. Had to take off this side plate. Had to take this seat out, which is all these bolts here. On Phillips head. Had to take out this plastic. Had to lift the floorboard, which is held down by those bolts. These bolts are on the skid plate right here. Of course, the seat brackets, both of them. Had to take the center knob off, take the center console out. Had to take the carburetor loose. All this is carburetor stuff. Take it off to get the cable out of the back of it. Then, to do the belt, I also had to take the carburetor off. Had to take this hose loose from the intake right there. Right. Find my finger right there. And it goes to the crank case. Had to take that loose. Had to take this cross member that goes from over there to over here, which I had to take all this loose. All this is loose. The battery used to sit over there. Which the cross member is right here. You have to take the seat belt off the driver's side, which is 14 millimeters. The cross member bolts, which are here. Or no, the cross member bolts, which are here, are 10 millimeter bolts. You have to take this ground wire loose. That's an 8 millimeter bolt. I'm going to take the gas tank loose here, here, and here. Those are 8 millimeter. Flathead screwdriver for all the hose clamps. The case bolts are 10 millimeters. The trick was, I said I had to lift the engine. The trick was I had to get a wrench on that one and take it out with my fingers. And I had to get a wrench on that one and take it out with my fingers. So whenever I put it back together, I got to do the star pattern to tighten everything up. So I need a 10 millimeter wrench for that, 10 millimeter socket for the rest. The belt, to get the belt loose, I use two of the case bolts, two of the case bolts up here. They're tapered on the end and they're longer than the other ones. There's two of them. And there's two holes in the, this I would say is the variator. This is the clutch, this is the variator. So the variator slides in and out. Whenever it gets spinning, it sucks in, which then tightens this up. This is spring loaded, this is the clutch. So you screw the bolts in here and there evenly. It pushes the plate back, which has a big spring behind it. And then you start from down here. You get a flathead screwdriver in between the case and the belt. And then you take a screwdriver and you work this around. As you do that, it pulls the belt off the bottom. Then you take a belt from a flathead screwdriver from the bottom and get between the belt, and you pry as you spin this with another screwdriver. Alright, when you spin this with another screwdriver, that works the belt off the backside. The backside over here, like you do a chain on a bicycle. Pop it off there and you pull it off here. The belt is here. It's pretty small. This one's wore pretty good, so I figured while I was in here I would go ahead and do that. The part number for this is 670-23.6-30, and I'm shaking. 4 plates, side covers, seats, cross barrel gas tank, floorboard. I lifted that for the cable. The cable will be here the weekend. Definitely disconnect the battery. Oh, you got to take these seat belts loose. The seat belts. So first is going to be for here is a 15mm bolt, which goes here, and then here is a 13mm bolt. So you need 8, 10, 14, 15. The seat belt, which hooks to here, right here on the driver's side. It's the same as this. These are 14 bolt and nut. 15 Phillips, number 2 Phillips, number 3 fits better. And the Allen key is size Allen key. You can use a T30 or a 5mm metric. Everything's metric. Let's see, were there any 13s? The only 13 I think there was for the seatbelt bracket here on the driver's side. A bunch of zip ties holding everything in place. Let's see, the battery. So how I fixed the no start was I did away with the little battery, which used to sit in here. Here's the seatbelt. So I did away with the little battery. I wired a positive cable, heavy duty positive cable, into the system, banked it to the coil pack, which is here, just this red. Yeah, that's red. Run it in to the battery. Here, I made a case put in here. Blue is the ground. I didn't have a black. And I have the ground run through here. Comes in here. And that's the ground for the brain box right here. The little one is for the brain. This other one is to the motor. And then this one is to the starting solenoid. And then from the starting solenoid, I routed it through here, and I hooked the new ground up. No, I haven't done the new ground yet. This is the battery to frame ground. And then this, which I'm going to replace with a heavier one, this is motor to frame ground. So that fixed my whole starting issue rather than doing a push button. So yeah, the cable for this thing, where is that cable at? It is right here. This hooks to the brake pedal. This clips into the back of the brake pedal. This boot slides over this. This, see that nut? See how it's sideways? That's cross-threaded, so you couldn't adjust the throttle at the pedal. And then this and goes to the carburetor. I'm going to feed this through the back of the carburetor, around the wheel, into the brass fitting on the carburetor. I might show you that here in a minute. And take it out, and then you gotta back the screw off and then unscrew this from the carb, pull the whole thing out. Then so where's the carburetor at? I know it's up here somewhere. There's the carburetor. And here, right here, where's the drill at? The Phillips head bit. Sorry about the lighting. So this plate here, this is where the cable goes in. Let me get this. Come off. There we go. Phillips number 2. Get that in there. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Drill in my left hand. Reverse. I went ahead and put this back together because it's itty bitty screws and this little bitty brass guy right here. Alright, this brass guy right here. See, it's put the cable in there, turn it sideways, and you gotta feed it around this wheel. And it goes in this front wheel. And when you hit the cable, when you hit the throttle, this spins like this to open throttle to your butterfly, which is in there. Which I think I need to set that. It's kind of open a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. See where it's open a little bit? May have to clean it. Definitely needs to be cleaned. And then I can adjust it down throttle positioning sensor right here. You say you can make this kind of a performance. I don't know if you can see the tab right there on the back of this wheel. On the back of this wheel, there's a plastic tab. Can you see it? Anyways, there's a plastic tab on the back of this wheel. It catches that aluminum leg. You take this off, it's spring loaded, so you gotta be careful. You take this off, and you take a Dremel and you shave the end of that off, because at full throttle, that's full throttle, but you can't get that out of the cable because the cable's longer or shorter. You only get like 2/3 throttle out of this thing when you pull the throttle cable. So this is the idle screw. Someone's done stripped it out. They had somebody else doing work on it, so I might try to get that off and put a new one on that. I don't know, I might have to get a whole new carburetor to do that. As long as I can adjust it at the pedal, I should be fine though. So the belt will be here tomorrow. Throttle cable sent in between Friday to Monday of this week. Probably be earlier. It's through Amazon Prime. Total pain. MR Honda said just for the cable they'd charge me $1,000. It took me about, I don't know, 2 hours to get all the plastics off and like 10 minutes to get the cable out. The cable at the pedal is 8mm bolts. 8? Nope. Yeah, 8 or 11. There was a couple of 11mm. So you need 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, and 15. And then the 5 Allen key. That's about the gist of it. They said to get to the belt was going to be $800. They said $800 to do the belt, but they had to do all of this. I don't understand. So it would have been about $1,800, $2,000 for MR Honda to do it. I'm doing it for $100 in parts of my time. About 6 hours a time. I usually charge $50 an hour to do mechanics. So $300. We're at $300 already, and it's going to take me probably an hour to do the belt and get the tank and everything back in, and then probably about another hour to do the cable. So $300, about $400 is what I would charge, or $500 rather than $1,000 just to do the cable, and then another $800 to do the belt, which is just crazy. I could do it for a third of the price. I'm doing it myself. I'm doing it $1,700 cheaper. I already bled the brakes, done checked all the brakes and everything. While I have it up in the air, this guard broke off right here for the chain. See, there's a hole there. There's a guard that goes on here. It bolts here and there. It broke here. There's a couple of threads. Someone tried to JB weld it. It did not work. So I may clean that up while I got it in the air. And I have this piece, the plate, and this bolt. think I have a bolt long enough to reach that. And so it goes here to keep the chain from jumping off here. But I mean, if you're going good, I might tighten the chain up too. That's quite a bit of slop. Alright. So I gotta wait till I get everything together, get it down, jack up the rear end, tighten that chain up. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Had this thing for about 5 years. One of my nephews put diesel in it, and they paid someone to do the fuel system. I think that's who cross-threaded that nut. So, alright, get a redneck out.